Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about some 3D printed pinball toppers today. Let's see what we've got. A couple things I've been working on. Check it out. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Tonight, gonna be going over a little something. Real reason that I asked for a 3D printer. Pinball, right? So my two favorite things right now in the world have been pinball, obviously, and 3D printing. Been starting it since Christmas of last year and been working through it here. So made a couple of cool things, but what I want to talk about tonight is toppers. Got one that was already available there for download in the Bamboo Handy app that you can go through, download, make your own topper that's there. Going to show you that, show you how it goes together, and then going to show you the one I'm working on. It's going to be my first custom design topper. So nothing too elaborate. I've seen some crazy elaborate ones out there. People are fantastic. They are super talented. So not quite there yet. But I think it's going to look pretty cool for what we've got. But we're going to go through it tonight, kind of show you where I'm at and what the process is with this one and where I'm at on this process. So catch you back in a few. Okay, what's the first part you need for a topper? Obviously, you're going to need a base, right? So that's the first thing we're going to talk about tonight. This base here is available for download and use in the Bamboo Handy app. You can print it right off your phone. So there together, it's a 3-piece base with connectors here and here. Good thing about it is it's all set up for sterns, is what this one is set up for. So it'll go back and use your factory stern mounting hardware in order to mount it to the top of your back box. So great start to a topper. Cool thing I like about this one too is gives you an opportunity later if you want to start adding lighting. It has tracks that are built in. You can pass cut wires and everything underneath that where you can come up and you can drill them into the areas that you might need them, things like that. So that's great. That's cool. I like about that one. And it's super sturdy. Not super sturdy, but plenty sturdy enough for what we're doing. We're building a topper that's there and substantial. There is another one on there. I don't have a copy of that one. There's more of a flat piece. It works okay, but I like this one better because of the stability that is out there. I think it works out better. Now, the only downfall about this one is it does not have the spot in the back cut out already for if you want to pass wires and stuff down into the back box. The flat one that is available does have that. So if you want that there, it's there with the flat one. It's available. You can use it where you can get right to the back of that back box, pull off that cap, and be able to run wires in. In other words, you got to drill through this one in order to run your wires to make you a hole for it. Not too hard, but just something to think about if you're looking at doing them. So the first one that we're going to show you here is the Godzilla King of the Monsters topper. This is made by Syntax, I believe is the gentleman's name, if I'm recalling correctly. They designed this on Bamboo Handy. Get some pieces out here. So this is not my design. This is the second one I printed, though. Gave a couple to a couple of buddies that have the machines. So I have made a couple of them. This is the second one I'm making now. So with that, kind of show you here, it's going to go together like that. It's part of it there. And then the next section is the fire, right? Well, it all comes in separate pieces. These print, all the letters print out as one. Each base prints out as one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prints, and then 9 prints because it has connectors that go in between these that slide in where you can slide it together to hold that together. So 9 prints to get this part, 3 prints for that one. So it'd be a total of 12 prints to do this. Looking at a little over 50, about 55-ish hours in order to put this together. And that's just getting everything printed and ready to go. But kind of show you what it looks like together. Get these fires out here, then we'll stand it up. Get them lined up in the right spot if I can see. There we go. Now I'm going to snap them all the way in. These fit very well. The guy that did the design did fantastic. And just for a preview, I did see that he's already has one out for new King Kong. And it is cool. I really like the new design that he put out with that one. I expect I'll probably have to make one of those too, just because it's so cool looking. So, get that all together that's there. I'm still going to come back and do some gluing and things like that. But it will come up. And then there you go. There goes the King of the Monsters topper. It's out there available free for download. Like I said, it does take about 1,000 grams. You're looking at about a full roll total, all together of filament in order to print this one out. So there goes your king of the monsters. Just want to show that off. So there goes one of the toppers that is out there. And when you start looking at some of these toppers with what they cost and what you could make one of these for, yeah, it might not be the official one, but when you're spending a fraction of the price and it still looks cool. And I understand there are some people out there that they only want the factory stuff that's out there, but to me, I kind of like stuff that's different. It doesn't have everything. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Godzilla, but I've got a topper, so I've had 2 of them. So with this next one here, but that's one there. It's a Garrett. It is available to print. So there you go. If it's out there and you'd like to get it, you know it's out there and available, and you can print it and about what it'll take. All right, let me take this one down and get back to the next one. Be right back. All right, so that was taken apart. So the next one is my first personal design. Now, on this quest, I set out, me not having to design anything, to use existing prints that were out there and available, that you can go in, write a Bamboo Handy app, and be able to print them off right from your phone. So, don't want to give that sneak peek up. Let me slide that dude out of the way. All right, so the first part here, this is probably going to be my first lit one. Starting off with a D&D light box that's going to go in. Going to be able to come in here, pop this off the back like this with some LEDs, and bring that up and across. And then the next part of these are going to be these dragon skulls. I haven't decided if I'm going to add anything else in with these. Thinking about maybe some torches, some things like that. But that's what I'm looking at. So I put it together. I thought, you know, that looks kind of cool. Quick, easy to print. It's all right there available. Just having to put it together myself and do that. So that looks kind of cool. I said, but these white skulls look kind of cheesy, right? So they look kind of cheesy. So I got to do something else about those. Well, I found another product. It's here, looking around. It's actually like to work on leather. So it's this is the saddle tan antiquing gel is what this is. So I thought, seeing this, I thought, well, I will try this to see if I can make these bones, these skulls look a little bit more like bone. So this one here, I didn't complete it all the way. I just wanted to see if it worked. This is another one that I had printed off that was there. And started just to try it out, just to see if I could get the effect I was wanting. I wasn't trying to do the whole thing. I just was doing a quick once over just to see if I can get that look. And so you can look at that. It looked pretty cool, I thought. It got that bone look. It looks a lot better than just the white. And so that's one thing I'm going to be working on tonight and on this topper here. As I'm progressing making my first topper, I just kind of wanted to document it. First one that I'm putting together and kind of designing on my own with everything that's out there available right now without having to do any CAD design or anything that's there. So I don't have a Dungeons and Dragons pinball machine, but I thought it was a cool one when it came out, and so I was looking around and starting to think, oh, let's see what I come up with. That was one of the reasons I got this 3D printer, was to start making stuff like that for pinball machines. So that's where we're at tonight. I'm out here in the garage. That's why I'm in the garage tonight. I'm going to start working on these and getting these all antiqued out and kind of show you how I do that process. I'll be right back with you and show you just the beginning of it and kind of see how I do it. And going to learn it in the process going to be learning while I do the process as well. So be right back. All right. So first step is checking wells. So I'm going to just get shook up and try not to break my models. You know, that'll be my luck. Get them all printed, ready to go. And then knock them off from the concrete and break them. So that's always been in the garage. Using some of this, and I don't think my wife would be too happy if I got this on our carpet or somewhere, so, or our flooring, being it's a stain. Now I did get some when I was doing the test wood. I did get some on my thumb, and it was like a reddish orange brown color, and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna be walking around with a brown thumb for who knows how long. But it actually came off with water, soap and water, and I did use a little bit of a scouring pad to get it off the rest of the way, but it did come off with soap and water, just with a little scrubbing. So let me get that slid over so she don't fall off. Slide this up, and this is what we're going to start. So just for the big parts and the big sections, we are simply going to come up here. I guess I'm going to start on a new corner where I didn't use the other day. I'm going to put a little of the stain. You see it's a gel that comes out that's there. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to rub it together a little bit. on that rag where I don't catch up any of those things, because that was why I did that other one. Oh, where did it go? There it is. And I didn't have brushes then, so you see some of the glopping and stuff in behind some of the horns. And that's another one I looked at to possibly use for this, but I had to go away from it. It was just, the model was just too hard to get all the brackets and everything broken loose to supports. There's still supports broken in off in this thing. So it's just not going to be a good one to do that with. Cool looking, but not going to do it. So this is a pretty simple process that's here. Get it going, and we're just going to start wiping it on. All right. Going to come in and do some brushes and stuff. We're going to see how that goes as well. Just kind of show you the process here a little bit as it goes throughout it. Not a lot of thought going into it. Make sure I close off my cap here, because that's exactly how I'll spill it. But we're going to start working on it here to try to antique this up a little bit. I do recommend using gloves though, even though it will come off. It didn't come off easily. So we'll just start with this little top part here and rub this stuff in. And see how it comes along. Right. Giving that really that old looking skull look is what I was really wanting to go for. Something that looked like, you know, you just dug it up out of the ground. It was just found. It's been laying around in a dungeon somewhere. Let's go with that look. And I really think it's close to the size that is in the machine. So that was the other thing I was looking at, was seeing how close I could get it to the size of the one of the machine. If I put it on the computer, I could reduce it, or I could raise it up a little higher, make it a little bit bigger, make it a little bit smaller. But that was one of the things I want to do with this one. Is easy to do at home, easy to print right off your phone. Don't have to even open up a computer, don't have to do any designing, but one that you can make. But of course, you know, if anybody's out there and they see this and think, hey, I kind of want one, reach out. You know, I don't mind putting one together for you, and we can talk about everything else later. But we'll see how she comes out. But I just really wanted to share this process and let you know it's out here and it's available. And there's some great designers out there that have some great models. So that's just for kind of the first part, right? Let me kind of show you, looking at this one here, kind of the difference. So that really starts showing you there this is really starting to look like bone in person. I don't know if it's really coming across on the camera as well, but it's really starting to come across. And I kind of like that it's not as uniform. It gives it a little bit more authentic look, I think. So we're going to do that. Now, one thing I haven't tried yet is using these brushes. So I'm going to put a little on this rag here again. Well, let me get this bigger brush for right now. Put a little in that brush. Let's see how she does on the brush. Ooh, that's what I was afraid of, right? So I'm going to bit that out and get some of these ones down in there and spread that out. So get some of these hardest get spots, and then we'll come back with the rag and try to clean it up a little bit throughout there. Getting some of those cracks and things. All right, so I've got that there. Let me come over here with this and wipe it down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Kind of like it getting a little darker back in the crevices. Looks a little bit more real, I think. So yeah, just wanted to kind of show you the process where we're at right now, what I'm working on. So I'm going to continue working on this and try and get this one done. And once I get this one done, I will check back with you guys and show you what it looks like compared to the solid white one. See you in just a bit. All right, got one skull completed here. Happy with kind of the way that she's turning out. Things really starting. It really looks good as far as like what I was looking for. Kind of like that bone look, especially in person. It's got that aged, you know, like you said, like you just dug it up somewhere. That's what I was looking for. So there's that one. We'll do it in comparison with the white one. So you can really tell the difference there when you get them inside there side by side. Really think it makes it look a lot more realistic. So I think that was the right move on that, and I think it's going to look good once it dries. I think it's going to really make the topper look a little bit better with that realistic that's there. So yeah, just want to show that one to you in comparison with the white one. The different angles you got there. You know, went ahead and did all the way around 360 as well. Underneath, there's a lot of nooks and crannies, especially start getting down in these teeth and back in the eyes. And kind of making it a little bit darker in some spots, a little lighter in others, and just kind of continue to work with it. So that's kind of what it was, but I think that gives you a pretty good look at the differences that you've got there when you start looking at them head on, side by side. Well, all right, I'm going to start working on this one now, and then we'll see where we're at when we're done with that one. See y'all in probably, 25, 30 minutes. About what it took me on the last one there, so looking at probably about the same amount of time to do this other one. So, but so far, happy with the process, happy with the way it's coming out, and starting to hit more into the vision that I had whenever I started kind of putting this thing together a little bit. So, all right, got them both complete there. Just kind of get a sneak peek of kind of what this thing looks like now with my antiqued up dragon skulls, however you want to call it. But I think it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty cool. I like the way that looks. So, if you like what it looks, let me know down below in the comment section. Is there something else I should add? Is there something that's missing? Got any suggestions? Be more happy to listen to any of them. I'm still kind of thinking about maybe finding some torches to put in the back to give some spires with some torch flames coming out the back or something like that to add a little bit more depth and a light to it as well. I do have just kind of ready to light that up a little bit. Just throw something generic for you real quick just for this light. This isn't going to be like how it is going to be lit, but just kind of throwing some lights in here real quick so we can kind of see what it looks like here. So I'll be right back. Let me do that and we'll see what this looks like. Well, guess what? That didn't work. I'm guessing this black is not going to let any light come through. Let me try another approach. Be right back. Alright, I already had a backup plan ready because I wasn't sure if the other way was working on anyway. But let's see how this looks now. Throwing off the lights here. So it's just kind of a basic look at how it would look here in the dark once you lit it. That's with the white background instead of the other one. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to need some more lights there on the back corners to light these skulls and stuff up some more. You know what I mean? To bring a little bit more. But I think I can get those back in the corner behind those. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's turn these lights back on and take one final look. Alright, well there it is. First look at it. Kind of coming together a little bit after getting that all done. There we go. So you got two options. You've got that option there, or if it's not lit, your other option would be to drop this in here, would match the colors that are on the machine now that's there. So as we're just looking at it there, that's the Dungeons and Dragons one that we got going. And then, the King of the Monsters Godzilla topper. So a couple of toppers there, some cool options that are out there and available. Like I said, I did not design this one, but wouldn't mind printing them off for people if they need them printed off. But Syntax was the one that actually designed those, so big props to him with that one. But there you go. So a couple of cool topper options. If you've got 3D printers at home, it's out there available that you can print now. Ooh, that was real smooth. Throw it on the concrete. LOL. We came out okay. We're good. We're good. Drop that back in there. But there you go. Like I said, this is the one I kind of putting together and designing. It's kind of where I'm at now, but I kind of like it not having too much going on either. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Got any suggestions, anything for improvement that you might have? Reach out and let me know down there. So you got a couple options now. $2,000 for some of these Stern toppers coming out, or if you're doing all the work yourself, $50 in materials, right? So big difference there between the prices that you got there, and probably have someone making this one I would say about 200 bucks is what I would say, right? After getting everything done and doing the time that's put in to print it up, that's about $150 to $200, right? Yeah, what I put the value at once these get complete, because there is a lot of time that's involved. But let me know what you think. Is that fair? Is that unfair? What would you do? What would you charge if you made your own topper? But let me know in the comments below. And always, thanks for watching, and keep on flipping.